All right, it's Wednesday night. It means it's time for the Turfway webcast, and Ed DeRosa, my partner, could make it this week, so we got an upgrade to Scott Shapper to Capper Shapiro.
What's up, Mark? I don't know if that's a shot at Ed or a compliment to me, but I'll take it as both. So
A little both.
Yeah, exactly. I enjoy both of those things, complimenting me and taking shots at Ed. So it works.
Yeah,
perfect.
there you go. Well,
good to be here. Good to be here.
We've had mixed results with our handicapping. I got to say, he's, I think, definitely been better than me on the webcast. So hopefully you can upgrade with some selections. And Turfway is so much fun. I mean, you know, big fields and so much chaos. How's it been for you this year?
You know, I have not. I've played some days. Obviously, it's been kind of nice. Don't miss having to handicap every race every day at any track, and Turfway is amongst those. I have not had a lot of success in when I've played horizontally. I've had some good handicaps, but I mean, it seems like I don't really learn my lesson there in many ways, because it seems like 3 or 4, 4 or 5 is inevitable, and you know. But one thing I have learned to do there is kind of split up my budget. And I know you're very good at this with, you know, playing vertically. When you're right kind of thing, instead of having to be right more times. But hasn't been a great meet, but I haven't gotten buried either.
Good. Yeah. It's yeah, you can live by the horizontals and die by the horizontals really quick.
So hard here, so hard, but so lucrative when you hit them, right? And
exactly. So I'm in Louisville here, so we're just about an hour and a half down the road from Turfway. Usually we get pretty much the same weather, and it's just been misting here for just seems like hours, like all afternoon. So I think, you know, sometimes that synthetic track, and it kind of notice this like Gulfstream too, you know, get that right amount of moisture in it, and it can speed it up. So if I had to guess, it might play a little bit on the forward side. So I was going to maybe take a shot with the 5 here in the first. Looks like he could be, I don't know about lone speed, but definitely be clear speed. And I don't know. That's my theory. Start.
He looks like he could be pretty lone to me. I mean, the 2 broke pretty well last time and didn't get ridden really aggressively. So with an inside draw and maybe, you know, seeing that Machado will ride that filly aggressively, but I think they should line up 5-2 or 2-5 at the worst. And
okay,
definitely not a barn that wins a lot at Turfway. But what's the price on your 5 right now? 5-1. Yeah, I mean
5-1. Yeah, aggressively. I mean, he's a really patient dude. I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, I know. Good question. I mean, he's definitely not your Louis Sire type, right?
Right. I mean, I would say like it's a strength to be patient and almost, I don't want to say to a fault. It's just that I do prefer him on stalkers and closers than front runner but I mean, he's doing well. I mean, obviously, God knows what he's doing.
Without question. I mean, he gave the horse the right ride last time. I want to be on the leader. I don't want to be too far out of it. I don't really understand the allure of the morning line favorite, but I mean, I guess you got the race over the surface and you're dropping, but this horse didn't run in a step last time.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of hoping the 5 would hang on, so I'm kind of like 5 over 1 or 2 or 8, but I like the 1 the most. So I guess it was kind of like 5-1 if I had to pick an exacta. I guess they're thinking the 5. I don't know. It looked like it chased a fast heat, I guess. That's what my thought. I mean, I guess he definitely stopped, but
she has speed. I mean, she's been up and on 1-turn mile races at Churchill, right? So it's just a matter of getting out of the gate well, which hasn't happened the last 2 times, specifically last time. The other race, they went a little bit quick. But if Serpa he's obviously not winning a ton of races, but if he read the form, I just don't really know how. I guess you could argue maybe the 4 could go, but that's a kind of a reach after 2 slow starts as well. But the 8-1 showed no speed last time. I mean, the 1 got a better trip, but ran better as well. I think, I don't know. I had it. I think the 5 makes sense in terms of value as like as a key type, but I think the 2 is going to probably run right back, run pretty well, even though it's against winners for the first time.
Yeah. Did you think anything of the 6 at 8-1?
That's a really that race was really slow. I mean, it's tough enough to step up against winners for the first time, but first start over the surface, 1 and is what the biggest, well, not the biggest price on the board. Yeah, that's almost an underlay. Wonder how Louisiana bred ends up here, but yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, rock bottom at Churchill basically debut, or no, definitely rock bottom. That was a 2-year-old race. Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I looked it up. The Sire stats. The Sire's undefeated in a synthetic route, 1-for-1.
Take over target.
Yeah, but it was just this horse's previous race. That's
the definition of small sample size.
Yeah, that's the definition.
Well, the 4 is a 7-year-old with 6 starts. Well, I want to take back. I mean, this horse can't have any.
Raced sparingly, then, right? I thought the 4, from a trifecta, superfecta candidate wasn't, completely out of it. But all right, good luck everybody in the first, and we'll see how this track plays. And they're all kind of going out there, aren't they?
Wide too.
1, 4, and 5 all out there.
Yeah, the 1 used the ram. 2's getting the
dream trip, watching all that.
This is a little bit. Well, I can't. What's the fraction? Is 20. I mean, this is ridiculous. 3 across the track.
24-18.
Yeah, I mean, you're.
I mean, wow! It looks looks like a lot of moisture. I mean, it's a compact field. They don't look like they're flying, but I guess the one's pulled away. I don't know.
I mean, the one going to the lead.
Wow, 47 and change. This is a route, right?
Yeah, 1 mile. Yeah, they roll. I mean, contentious too. Who's the 7's rolling?
They're all rolling. The 2's rolling. The 6 is rolling.
7's the longest shot on the board, right?
Yeah. Wow. 2's rolling and 7's flattening right behind him, right? Oh, who's coming up on the inside?
Yeah, who is that? The 6? That's your 6. Well, I don't know yours, but
not
2's
quite.
2, 6. Wow, that's a nice try with the 2 on top.
Oof, that's a really big try.
God, the 1 and the 8 were so bad. Like, they were so bad last time. They just dropped, but neither of them really ran, and they really didn't run again.
Yeah.
5, you just, I mean, when you like, what can you do? You handicap loan speed.
Right.
The 1 really had no business on the lead on paper.
Yeah, and then that's so fast too. Then it's like you almost wonder if the jocks have to rethink it. That was Oscar Villarreal on the front, dueling with Serpa and Carlos Barbosa in between. So I'm not sure why all 3 of them decided to send there.
God, that looks like dirt almost. No, see Nick saying, yeah. I mean, I guess my take is that the rider on the 1 was following instructions. You would think.
Yeah.
They go to the lead because they saw what we saw on paper.
Yeah. No, I agree. Nick has been off pace all meet for the most part. I think that when it has rained, I think that's changed it a little bit at times. But yeah, that was off pace for sure. But 47, under 48 for a route, you don't really see that much.
The 8, I mean, the 8 got they got the setup she wants as a closer, and still was. I mean,
yeah, nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get. I mean, they've made this horse the favorite last time. The only good, real competitive race this one had was beating rock bottom maiden claimers at Los Alamitos, which,
yeah,
but
There you go, Shap. They missed you here in Kentucky.
Ah, hey, Danita. I don't have it in me to do all of them. This is, you know, I
Is
stay
that
up
your burner?
bedtime to. Hold on, whoops.
Yeah, no, it's that's tough when you guys are handicapping like race after race and all the different meets, and that's a grind.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it gets the nights is a good change up to be doing at nights, but for a while, that was a big switch around. You know, you're used to being done when you're starting.
Yeah.
You know, and used to waking up super early, kind of being in horses just in general. That seems to, you know, but yeah, I mean, I think Turfway is, and I mean, I know you pretty much agree, is just kind of a hidden. I mean, I don't know how hidden it is anymore, but just some of the best betting you can do, applying angles that
Yeah.
you know, that you grew up learning. Still, a lot of the races on dirt, you can't do it quite as much as we used to.
Yeah, and you know what I love, and they're not quite as big fields right now, but when you get those big fields, it just leads to so much chaos and openness that that unpredictability will give you some big prices if you can find your way to them.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, I guess as the winter goes on, you know, people start thinking about Keeneland and whatnot. It's hard to keep the massive sizes, but man, I mean that December is like not that first month. The holiday, I mean, is like nothing else that we have.
Yeah. So let's see. What do you think? This trifecta 7-horse field, but this should be pretty strong.
I mean, getting the 1 and the 8 out of there has to be good, right? I mean, that's the 2 morning line favorites, the droppers.
Yeah. Yeah, that 7 was tough to.
You just basically have to say the race is going to collapse. You can come.
Oh, there you go. Look at that. $104 for 50 cents. I think I'd be disappointed with that.
Yeah, it's a light. It's late.
Light. So all right. So one of the things we wanted to talk about tonight a bunch. We'll come back to Turfway for the second. Is we're partnering with Twin Spires on their new $250,000 Kentucky Derby betting challenge. Let's see if I could zoom it up. And so basically, like it sounds, it's a betting tournament on Kentucky Derby Day that you play through Twin Spires. It's pretty cool. It's a $5,000 entry that is you get $3,500 bankroll to play the races on Derby Day. $1,500 goes to the prizes. I think we're looking at $100,000 first prize, so pretty sweet. And I think this is something that'll grow over the years. So we're going to partner with them on our Derby Wars contest site, and more importantly, right there at the top, you see we got a free game that starts on race. What are we starting on?
5.
Race 5. Yeah, thank you. At 7:55 ish. So you want to get in that. So if you go to derbywars.com, if you don't have an account, it's free. Sign up, and we're giving away 2 $80 qualifiers to round 3 and 5 $22 qualifiers. So the top 7 win prizes. There's $270 in qualifying prizes to kind of get your way along to qualifying for a $5,000 KDBC spot. So it's going to be a pretty cool tournament. You can't play. The only catch, you can't play from every state. So as long as you have a Twin Spires account or you can get one in your state, then you're good to go. So we've got 123 people in the free game right now, and I'll just click through to it. Well, I'm not going to enter, but I'm going to click through to it. And so it's races 5 through 10 at Turfway. Just pick a horse in every race, and there's our leaderboard there with got 123 people in, and all it's 0. Just start. So
Derby Wars, big, good. Turfway is definitely one of the best tournament tracks too. I mean,
yeah,
for this type of play.
Yeah, so it's cool. Yeah, so I'm glad you said it. So we're running qualifiers every day. So we've got qualifiers at Turfway, and go back to the KDBC. And then we've got stuff on Fairgrounds tomorrow, and then we've got the Risen Star card on Saturday. And so, let's see if my I'm going to share this tab. All right, I'm clicking around too much. So there's the free game, and then on Saturday, let's see. So for the Risen Star, we'll have an $80 qualifier. 1 in 5 players will win a $365 entry. And then on Sunday, we've got a $365 entry, 1 in 15 win entry in the $5,000 prize to enter the KDBC.
Is the KDBC just Derby Day, or is it Oaks and Derby Day?
It's just Derby Day. Yeah.
Yeah, they had that contest in a different format. What, like maybe my first year, like 6-7 years ago. Glad to see they brought it back. I mean, Daylight Derby deserves that kind of.
Oh, right. Yeah, there used to be a live contest. Yeah.
Derby. Yeah, live only. I think it was right. Maybe. Yeah.
And yeah, some questions in the chat about. So they're not right now. It's just on Twin Spires. There's not an option to play live at Churchill on Derby Day, and I think that's just because it's the first year, and that's something that they're definitely going to get to for the next year. But just in the shorter run up, that's not going to be an option today. With good internet, question about that. I don't think good internet's really an issue anymore on Derby Day, Scott. Do you? I mean, I've not had a problem in years.
I have not had I don't remember that being an issue at all at any point on Derby Day. I wasn't there last year, but I was obviously there the 6 years prior. I don't remember that. I mean, I wasn't trying to put bets in at the last second, but pretty close probably at times.
Yeah. No, I mean, I remember back in the day though, like when Mind That Bird crossed the wire, and I was like trying to text my brother, like, what in the heck just happened? And it's like he couldn't get through to me, and I couldn't get through to him. It was just nothing. There was no cell service, back in those days.
Back then, right?
Yeah, everything just kind of crashed. So, but yeah. So if we put the link in for the free game, yeah, we got 126 people in now, so it's kind of fun, and we just put it in here.
Derby Wars is where I played my first tourneys way back.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that.
I loved it. I always loved tournaments, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed playing. I was big into Gulfstream on there when I played at that one point.
I remember that. Yep, you were definitely playing a ton of Gulfstream. Turf, right? Good turf handicapper.
I think that's the way to play Gulfstream personally, at least the first few months of the meet, because the trips are just so you can get an edge with trips that, maybe that just there's some being wide. Just like Turfway, when you get caught 4 wide in that first turn and then 3 wide in the backstretch, unless the race just completely collapses, you're toast no matter who you are.
Yeah, and as Ed likes to say, or was showing last week, looking at our track trends, definitely inside is going to be a better place to be at Turfway.
Is that routes exclusively, or would you say anywhere?
I think it's pretty much anywhere.
Where?
Let me pull it up here. Yeah, here. Pull it up. So that's routes. So that's since the first of the year, roughly, the last 80 races. You see 50% of the winners are coming from the inside. And, last race was only 7 horses, but if we go back, well, there it is. Average number of runners, 9.5. So, with 9.5 horses a race, and there's only 3 on the inside, and they're winning 50%, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah, and I mean, you could see it last race. I mean, there was only a 7-horse field, but these guys get caught, 3-4 wide regularly in those fields, and it shows on that graphic,
Yeah. So, all right. So we'll flip to sprints, pop it here, and Yeah, so that's about a month ago. It's about 30 days.
Is there anything that shows? I mean, his speed been? Nick was saying that in routes that you want to be off the pace. I haven't seen it every day
Yeah,
like he probably is. That show that
I
as well.
I agree with him. So here's sprints 50% on the inside, so pretty much the same thing. You know, if you're in the inside 3 posts, this is 9.6 horses per race.
You're
You
right.
know,
That
only a
is
third on the lead, so 41% kind of in the stalker, 1 to 4 lengths back.
yeah.
You know, but interestingly, look, like you can close, so 26% closing, but almost all those closers on the inside there.
That's the death trip off the pace and wide.
Yeah, seems like it.
Although it said would say early and wide is bad too.
Yeah.
Wide is just terrible.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not, you know, there's obviously some really talented riders, and you know they know to save ground, so that's an option. But then, you know, sometimes you're at the mercy of the pace. So, yeah, here's routes. So you know, really evenly distributed from a speed, stalker, closer standpoint, just on the inside.
Yeah, it's all the yeah. It's the same percentages basically on all those graphics from the inside to the outside. You had the routes, the sprints, same, right?
Yeah.
49, 30, 20, basically 50, 30, 20.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so we got 14 minutes to the second, and should chat about this for a minute. What did you find anything
Yeah.
here?
I thought that let's see. Well, I thought the 1 and the 5 were vulnerable as two of the favorites. The 5 is a heavy favorite. Well, it's not heavy, but looks
The
like
one's out.
yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
This Tartarian is interesting. I mean, really was ridden aggressively last time for the lead. They went super fast in a 2-turn race and has never dropped it, you know, obviously dropping in class.
Yeah.
But the race 2 back when he sprinted against Better supposedly was won by a 59-1 first time starter for a barn that hasn't won a race at Turfway other than that in years. So I don't know how like great that field was, and it wasn't as if he ran all that great then. So I think he's a little bit vulnerable, obviously, paying much respect to the big angle, you know, special weight to maiden claiming. But I thought the four is moving up in class, but just seems to be getting better and overcame a very wide trip last time throughout kind of the trip we were talking about. It was a sprint, which speaks to one of the graphics we were showing as being meaningful. I don't know if he's good enough to win. Usually like one of the class droppers will step up and win, but at that price, I think he might be able to slide underneath in there. I think he proved to like the surface last time.
Yeah, I like it. I was going to, as long as I was looking at closers, which I think I'm comfortable after the first race. I was looking at the 9.
Yeah, that's my top. That would be like the win play for me at these odds too.
It was your what play?
I would say like if I had to bet a horse at the current odds or play in a tournament setting on Derby Wars, the 9 would be that horse right now. I think a lot more upside than the 4. You know, the dropper. Interestingly, this is a half to. I mean, doesn't bode well necessarily, but Divisadero way back, a really old mare. But you remember Divisadero, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
that was a pretty cool horse. But yeah, this horse just missed the break in that race. And I don't know if we could have thought that would have been a surprise because he had 2 gate works, right? But not 1, but 2 gate works before his debut, if you look at his published drills. But then they gave him time off, which I don't love. But he looks like he had a good gate work last time. So maybe he gets out of the gate. I think that race was significantly better than this one, unlike the other special weight I was talking about on the 5. What was your read on this horse that you liked?
Oh, I just liked it, you know, second time starter, and I thought it was a good close. And I think, you know, just kind of looking at pace numbers and stuff like that, I think that is a little deceptive, right? So he didn't only close from 9th to 6th, but they kind of went slow, and then they picked it up a little bit, and they picked it up a little bit more. So thought it was, kind of a decent race, and maybe a little bit under the radar. Picks up Lasix here. The trainer stats are all fine for a little bit of a layoff and second time starter, and that sort of thing. So yeah, and I mean the price is 7-8 to 1. That's perfect.
He wins races here too. I mean, he's better. I think he's mostly a PA guy, maybe both these days, but he's got a 191 ROI at Turfway over 200 starts. So
All right.
Not the capable, even though he's only got a few wins, I think, at this meet.
Yeah, and I thought the 10's a little interesting. First off, the claim, Greg Foley claiming off a Safi, claims at the Churchill meet, and 2.5 months off, almost 3 months, and shows up here at the same 50K level. Looking at Lucky should be fine. The stats are fine. So
it's like Foley's got 2 in here. He's got the 2 and the 10. They're adding blinkers to the 2. Both would look like they would want to be involved in some respects. I don't know. He doesn't win a lot of races at Turfway compared to Louisiana this time of year.
Yeah.
And you're hoping to get to the front-ish, I would guess.
On the 10?
Yeah. Those are pretty fast.
I mean, he was just kind of somebody I was intrigued with. I do like the 9 quite a bit here. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to sit off the pace a little bit, but that horse looks to have a decent amount of speed.
For sure. I don't love these speed horses. They're supposed, I think like Time Form and whatnot have the 5 projected on the lead, but like he's cutting back,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not necessarily, sometimes the speed is dull. I know he went fast, but
yeah. Talking about your 4 again, it's not a terrible like trifecta bomb or something like that. Or superfectas, and I love to play those. I mean, we only got 8 in here, but like if you look at the 4 and the 6, they're both about the same price, but the 6 is, a speed horse is going to be in a duel or in the heart of the pace, and unless somehow he gets an easy pace, those types can get obliterated easy, whereas like the 4 just can kind of sit back and, if he can stalk enough and save something, he can easily, I would say, run up for 3rd or 4th.
Right. I think he's going to get that trip, where they're not necessarily gunning out of the gate, but they are fast enough. He and the winner of that last race that he ran second in was just loose on the lead and just completely ran away from the inside. While this horse was just caught wide. The 7 obviously is a horse that they spent $230K. Hasn't run great so far, but I would say both those efforts had somewhat of excuses. And Maker's kind of been getting hotter at Turfway. I think he's What do I have? I think I have those numbers. Yeah, he's 6 for 26 over the last 20 days there for a positive ROI.
Yeah, the jockey trainer combo there is pretty strong.
Right.
Wow, is that with Machado up? According to Briss, they're 45% together the last 20 starts.
Let me see. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, the 7 makes sense. I mean, and you're right, turning back, he could be in a good spot as well.
Oh, yeah, I see that number. Yeah, that 5 for 11 on Briz. And then if you want a bigger sample size, he's 31 starts, 29%. Yes, I mean, he doesn't use them that much. So
no.
When he means business, when he turns, he wasn't on them either the other 2 times. It looks to me like they're just cutting bit, we don't have a star. We spent too much, maybe. Let's win a race.
Yeah.
Probably illogical. Doesn't have a ton of speed, though, so.
That's okay, though.
The 2 comes out of way better races. I mean, look, Barnes he's in that Barnes race. I mean, I don't know how much it means when you barely run a step, but
The Barnes race, yeah, I remember that. I was there that day.
yeah, you
Bradford
are.
return.
I saw you from here in the paddock.
Yep, that was fun. Everybody was there. Yeah, no, that's a really good point. That he's coming out of a straight maiden race, right? That's not an auction maiden.
Nope.
And,
And then the next one, 80 is not 80 is not at Turfway, right? That was a weird race. There was a 1-2 favorite for Cox that was off the board in that race. That 28 to 7.
No, it's a good. I mean, this thing's getting bet too. It's 5-1.
It's 2.
I still like my 9. I might take the 7 over the 9 as an exacta just to kind of, play defense. You ever do that? And just.
That's what I actually like doing that. I mean, I don't love it, particularly if there's 2 favorites like this, where it's not just the obvious horse over your price horse, but I like betting my horse like a 7 to anything basically price above, third choice to win, and then backing it up with the horse I like most in an exacta. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I might do that. Because I'm liking the 7-1 on the 9. Who's everybody else like? Put in the chat there. Let us know. A couple votes on the 2. Nick says 2% of the 8 got scratched with a bad reaction to pre-race shots. So that's no fun.
Man, tough game ownership.
Yeah.
Just
you
get all the way there, and then that happens.
Yeah.
Hard enough to get horses to the races.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get the 4 underneath, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. Because if you could get
I think I'm so you're gonna key the 9. I think I like 2, 7.
And then I think I'm gonna go like 7-9 with 7-9, 10 with a couple more, and then I'll key the 4 and 4th, and then I'll flip it and key the 4 and 3rd. That's how I usually play those supers. And
reversers.
Yeah, reversers. Because the thing, what I'm going for is if the 4 hits the super, it's going to pay okay. You're not. There is no chalk combination. I mean,
right. And I heard you last week. You were talking. Actually, heard you talking to Ed, and you were saying, "I've been burnt." I think it was you. But where you were like, you don't want to be too picky about what you use on top and stuff. That was you, right? Last week, I think. Because I've been there too, where I'm trying to be too right. You already have to be really right to get a 20-1 to hit the board, right? And then you get beat by a horse that could have won, but maybe wasn't.
Yeah, because you're kind of splitting hairs, right? So it's let's just say I like this 9. Maybe he hits the board. Maybe he's even 3rd, and maybe the 7 wins, and then the 4 runs 4th. Well, a 2-1, an 8-1, a 15-1, it's already paying pretty well. At that point, I don't have to be I don't like the 3. I'm gonna, you kind of want to spread. What I usually do is spread in 3rd and then flip it to 4th, and kind of do it that way. But yeah, you just don't want to get too chintzy on that. But you gotta, you do have to be a little careful here. It's only an 8-horse field, but if you can throw, maybe a couple out, I'll probably throw the 6 out completely.
Do you ever use all in those type spots, or do you not believe in that?
I do, yeah, but I actually only do it by horse. So if I actually like every horse,
yeah, that's me too.
Keep adding it. I don't actually.
You don't use horses you don't like.
No.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom before the race starts.
And Mokata's up on the 3, which is one we really haven't talked about. He's getting bet pretty good here at 6-1. I thought. Yeah, for the 12-1 morning line, I wasn't really sure what the recommendation was there. And we talked about the 2 with Maker and Machado. if I'm playing against the speed, I guess the 5's probably the favorite that I'm going to fade here a little bit. Is he one turning back? He is turning back, so that's like another one. Like, do I, how cute do I want to get with that 5? I could throw him out a second, and that's where you can get burned. So what I'll probably do is use him in second once, and then play some tickets without him in second. So let me see if I can show this. Oh, getting close to the gate. Let's see if I got time here. I'll show you guys. So what I'm doing there is, so I've got my two top choices in the win spot, adding a couple more in second, but then just really keying everything to the 4 and third. I'm sorry, fourth, and then I'll flip it in third and just do that and play those both ways. But you can see it's like $2.40. So really cheap. You can repeat that several times if you want, and you've got some options to get to a decent payout.
Do you use the wager pad? No, wait, that's the I liked on Express. That's Multiview or Wager Pad Pro or something.
Yeah, I think I don't know.
Once I know these things, whatever. I like it. Those are the best ways to put in multiple tickets. I was taught it and never.
Yeah, just just trying to leverage a price there. Yeah, and I got to play my 9 with the 7 because I imagine the 7-9's paying pretty well. I didn't look.
7-9 is paying.
All right. Well, good luck, everybody, in the second here as they're going in the gate.
19 for $1.
How much?
19 for $1.
All right. Yeah. See if we get another off the pace race. Although that was really fast in that last race.
Yeah, that second quarter was vicious.
Yeah, it really was.
23. Yeah, that was. I mean, you don't see that very often. There we go.
All right, 10's laying it down. 5, 6, and they took the 10 right back.
So much for the speed being dull.
Well, Tartarian's on the lead, and
the 6 is right on the outside.
6 is right there. I don't know how fast. They're pretty spread out, though. That's pretty well spread field. 22.71.
4 is in the great suck-along spot, I think.
Yeah, that could be great. And
there's a way somehow.
7 and 9 are all the way at the back with the 3.
Is it 22 and 3 or 23 and 3?
Yeah, 22 and 3, 45 and 6. Is that what that is? 45, 60. So that's moving.
I think the 4 got a class check. Am I wrong? Where's
4 said no moss.
Who's that on the far outside?
The 7's coming on the far outside.
That's a 9?
And then the 9's way back there. That's the 7. Looks like a 7.56 or no 5.76.
Jeez.
Oh, you got the
rocks in order.
7.56.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. 4 was nowhere, right?
4. That's the risk you're on when they step up in class.
I gotta rip up my $2.40 supers.
Yeah, the 4 just got completely out. Man, the 5 didn't win that.
Oh no, wait, there it is. 7.564.
Oh, the 4 got 4. Oh yeah, the 4 did. You hit it.
Yeah. He came down to 10 to 1. So
perfect example though of why you're smart and used the 5 and I didn't.
Well, that's what I did. What when you were coming back, I was talking about is I used them on the initial ticket and then I cut it down. Actually, I think I played it for 20 cents, which was like a $4.80 ticket, and then I cut it down and I took him off the second one. But that's okay.
He didn't run that bad. He probably ran the same race he has been.
Now that probably won't pay much.
No, because the top two in order is
Yeah.
basically that's going to.
But it's
If he
better
got
than
6 per second instead. That would have been a big difference.
Yeah. It's better than ripping it up.
Like I did. Like I am. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that was chalky. So we got a comment here for you, Scott. Any insider thoughts on the Pletcher situation?
I mean, I just really just saw the news pretty recently. I mean, it's I actually thought the horse Vassimo had a decent chance to run well in the Risen Star this week. I to be honest, I don't have the knowledge of the story enough or situation to really have any sort of insider take.
Okay, yeah,
I'm sure the story on Horse Racing Nation probably.
yeah.
Right.
I'm just looking at. I wasn't aware of it. Pletcher Derby hopeful Vassimo test positive.
Yeah. Yep. And that horse, kind of like his normal Risen Star horse, like Pioneer Medina Croupy. Like he brings those routers that don't have a ton of speed there, I guess. But
yeah.
But I don't know what it means for. I mean, the horse, is he going to run still?
Oh, I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the most important thing in the moment, or not in this moment, but semi-short term.
Yeah. Pull it up here. Yeah, I wasn't familiar with it, but I've been in meetings and whatnot. There's the article on Horse Racing Nation, and everybody, I think, without I won't take opinion on it. I don't really have one. I just wanted to say that I think sometimes people view Pletcher as the universal good guy, which seems like a pretty good guy, but when things pop up for him, like everybody wants to kind of like, really.
It is interesting.
It's a big deal, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, oh, Pletcher got, but we've seen some of these. I don't know. We've seen everything, right? With
we've seen it. We've seen it all, everything at this point. But yeah, it does seem like, I mean, Todd definitely seems to have less baggage, at least publicly, than most folks that we hear about. Not that I know any of it to fit any of the stuff to be true from a personal standpoint, but yeah, I mean,
well, he's one of these guys. I think he's playing at a level of the game with such good horses, such good connections, such big investments. I don't think he has an incentive to, really skirt the rules in a way that maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway.
No. I guess one thing I would say, I think that gets, the fact that he doesn't like running horses back in the Preakness is maybe a little bit, the fact that he likes giving the horses more time. I mean, that's everybody, but he was kind of the first one. Like, he would never run anybody back in the Preakness unless they won the Derby, it seemed like.
Yeah. I don't think anybody does. Oh, yeah, he's never like that. No, you're right. It's
like Always Dreaming. I mean, he did, but yeah. It seemed like he was the first to be like that. I could be wrong.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So there's our chalky exact $9.71.
That's disappointing, man. I thought there was some opportunity there. I didn't think they had the right one too.
So we were talking about spreading. So I actually did miss that super because I didn't use the 6 and 3rd. So that's what I was talking about. Like, you kind of want to not get too chintzy with it, and that was the case where for another 60 cents, I probably could have hit that. So
and it paid what, 43 for 10 cents.
Yeah.
Which isn't terrible considering the order it came in.
Right. Yeah. Not bad at all. All right. Now, have you played in any of these bigger cash tournaments like that BCBC or?
I haven't. I've played. No, I've never played in any of the big cash tournaments, and I would say that I think you need to. I love the idea of them, but I don't have the experience that some of these guys do of putting so much on the line. Because the one thing I think people make mistakes with those, and from my experiences of watching mostly and knowing tournament players, is trying to be right too many times in those contests. You know, I think you want to really press your strongest opinions and then play minimums. And that's just some of those wagers are not wagers I'm used to making. And I think that would give me a less of an edge than I would have in some other things I do gambling.
No, I mean, it's challenging. You got to bring your A game, and if you're betting a lot on a Derby day, which is a heck of a lot of fun, you've got the bankroll and the confidence. I agree. Like that's already enough of a challenge and stress. But I think the allure to like these tournaments is you're in, you've got a plan, you've got a bankroll. If you qualify, then it's sort of not free money, but you can kind of like take that bankroll for a spin, which is pretty cool.
No doubt. So plus you're getting, you're getting your money in good, comparatively speaking, that the tournament money's in good, right? I mean, if you think you have an edge or even are equal to people, but no, I would love to do it. And particularly, I mean, no better day to want to do it than Derby Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, Breeders' Cup's awesome, but I don't know nearly as much about international horses as I do the horses, from our country. So it's a little
right
edge there. So yeah, no, that's one of cards.
So I don't want to wade into this Fletcher thing too much, but just one other comment. So Trust Profits was asking about following the rules. Well, I mean, I will just say this because I'm not a trainer, but certainly not a trainer. But my understanding is some of the people say drugs, and it's got a big negative connotation. But some things like, let's say you have inflammation, you're going to take ibuprofen, right? And with some of the things that they're administering, there's a withdrawal time, so they're actually perfectly legal. And I'm not saying that particular drug because I don't know enough about betamethasone. I don't know anything about it actually, without doing a little research. But just in general, with some of the laws and rules, you have withdrawal time. So you're actually giving a horse might race every 30 days, and in between, you can actually administer something to maybe take swelling down. And then there's different rules in terms of whether it can work with that in the system or versus race or neither. And some of those I think have gotten more restrictive with high. So that's not a reason for trainers not to know the rules. But I think, some of these tests are just like, getting infinitesimal amounts that are picked up. So I don't know. I think it's a tough deal being a trainer and doing those things. And, I think a lot of times, they're looking for an edge. And I think sometimes it's not what we may perceive or like, people that don't know racing may perceive. Sometimes I think the edge is being able to bring your horse back and work him out and do a hard workout to like really improve the fitness, the stamina for the next race. And maybe it's something to kind of reduce swelling to do the work and then come back from the work. And then all that's completely gone by race time. But it's also part of what they do on the backside.
No, I think you nailed it. That every, and I think, there's a lot of honest mistakes made within this. And I know it's hard at this point with what we've seen, over the years of trust and lack of trust of guys maybe cheating and then getting caught and told they weren't cheap. But some guys are, like you said, the withdrawal times or just the minorly over the amount. Like there's a big difference between what, the Navarro and Services did and what most of these guys are getting busted or slapped on the wrist for. I mean,
right. That's
huge.
More nefarious when they're trying to skirt the rules and whatnot. So, all right, well, enough of that. So here's one I like. Well, a little painful for me. Rodney's talking about in race 5. I love Gamer. I had that horse last time, and this was a couple weeks ago. What's that?
You 40-1.
So he was 40-1, And I actually did play supers in that race, and I played the winner was 39-1, and Gamer was third by a head at 40-1. They like all hit the wire together, and of course didn't have the right combinations. But I mean, it was monstrous. I think the dime super was like 13,000. But it was a really hot pace, which I think is interesting. A lot of the same horses in the 5th race today are back from that race, so there's potential for pace again. But you'd think perhaps they, maybe adjust strategy, learn lesson. And then he's talking about if Verbal, the 6, has possibly seen better. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, that horse is coming out of some, $120,000 allowance at Keeneland on the turf, and has 2 good seconds over the synthetic. Talking about the 6 Verbal in race 5. Race 5 is interesting. I think that's, if you're looking for a race, I think for a price, for the contest, or for horizontals or anything, we've got a full field of 12 in there, and it's pretty wide open.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's going to be speed again, like you said. I mean, a lot of those same horses. The Liar's Poker, the horse that set the pace, moves outside, so maybe he isn't a lock to go. But Mercante, who's in the inside, and then plenty of the horses on the outside. So I could see it. But yeah, I watched that race a little bit before we came on, that Gamer race. That did fall apart. So it would need similar, but still heartbreaking to not connect, because there were 2 huge prices in the mix.
Yeah, that was frustrating. So just wanted to mention again, we've got a free qualifier on Derby Wars tonight for the to get started qualifying for the $250,000 Kentucky Derby betting challenge on Twin Spires, and the free game starts with race 5. So you've got about another hour. We've got 133 players in there already, and you just got to pick horse or race between races 5 and 10. So it's a lot of fun. You can sign up for free if you don't have an account on Derby Wars, and no reason not. The only reason not to, depending if you can't play Twin Spires in your state, then you would be ineligible to win. So that's. But as long as you have a Twin Spires account, or you have people you can in your state, then you should jump in. All right.
Doubt. How many are in yet? More people? Yeah, 133.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's see if we got. I'll see if I can find the one that's already started. Yeah. So this is we have one contest already started. This one is $22. 1 in 4 players win an $80 qualifier to the next round. You're ultimately trying to get up to a $5,000 entry, and through 2 races, Gadget Girl had the winner in the first, and so did what does that say? Scotty, looks like Scotty, Ohio. They both had the winner in the first, so they've got $12.08. Thin Sky in third with $6.74, and then we've got 4 players in fourth that haven't hit the board yet. But just like it sounds, you kind of pick a horse or race, and this is this one Win Place, I think.
Win Place Show, right? I think it's
yeah, Win Place Show. So you get you pick your horse, you get what it would pay for 2 to win, 2 to place, 2 to show, and then that's added to your bankroll. So anyway, fun way to play and qualify. We're gonna have qualifiers pretty much every day, so it'll be fun. All right, third race time. And we got a field of 7.
Oh, this is an interesting race, I think. I think this is another race that maybe could fall apart.
Yeah, got some votes in here. Tudo double all with the 9. Right. Lobo Savage for Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, this horse is interesting to me. Longest shot on the board. Not because of the Animal Kingdom, obviously that doesn't hurt. But this horse is coming out of better races, simply. Two back, I don't got to tell you that first level allowance event. Those are horses that are, way better than these. But even last time, if you look at the conditions of that starter, $5,000 starter, but this is a non-winners of 3 lifetime. There was the top 2 in that race were a 7-time and an 11-time winner. So this horse held his own against them. And this Marcelino Salas has the 1 and the 2 in here. And I'm hoping that the two has speed, was raced against Upside Potential, the favorite. In the past, looks like it was the race on January 4th, and Upside Potential made the lead, but Dewey's Beast was outside that day, and now is inside. I could see him trying to set it up for a stablemate for sure. Biggest price on the board, and not sure. I mean, obviously the race 2 back is hard to get excited about, but like I said, just a lot better horses. And the last time this horse was at the similar type level, won at Churchill against this kind of group.
Yeah, and that 2 back, that was a route. When I'm looking at Turfway, I just I want to look at sprints for sprints and routes for routes. I kind of toss it.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. The 2 recent sprints are good. I mean, all the others are routes. I mean, you got the Churchill one, and then last time.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like a ton of speed in here. Just the 2 and 4?
I think that's what you got to hope for. The 6 is semi-intriguing. I mean, this horse was good a while ago, I thought, or was getting good. Clearly, it's gone the wrong way, but Brittany Vandenberg, pretty good first off the claim. So horse taking money.
I guess the 6 is going to be in the pace, so that could be enough with the 2, 4, 6.
You just kind of need the 2 to kind of be all in. And maybe Machado, to your point, isn't overly aggressive, tries to sit, and that's not this horse's. I mean, this horse is his speed figures have been decreased since his debut. I'm not a big fan of that either. A 5-year-old with 4-star, it just doesn't seem like a great favorite to me. Had a chance at the level on a big drop already and didn't win.
Yeah. I guess the 7 isn't really slow either from an early standpoint.
No, I mean, if you're looking at Brisnet, the E1 numbers are pretty quick of late.
Yeah.
I mean, that from the outside there, I doubt he's going to Morales. I doubt he's going to be. But if he breaks well, you never know.
Yeah. Let's see.
Short. The 3 fits on numbers and whatnot, and that, since getting the Turfway, but we saw it moving up in class like that is not necessarily an easy task.
Yeah, I was looking at 3. I was trying to get excited about him. I think he fits. I mean, you're just saying he's cheaper back in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, he's always he's just cheap, but he's gotten faster since moving back to this course. I mean, actually, he was fast. He's just faster on the Turfway than he is. I mean, both of his wins have come all of his fastest races. So, but
yeah, I agree.
Slide last time, but
yeah, I mean, he likes Turfway.
Probably hits the board at the very least, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of pace.
Who was asking? Brian was asking about Animal Kingdom or Get Stormy from a Sire perspective, and got our handy dandy Sire stats.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, they're there. Pretty similar, and there's a couple of this race that are like a little subpar, but I mean, really everything's pretty similar. Most of them are between 8 and 12%. I guess the 6 bites down 20%. That's fairly notable.
That impact is, well, I guess the 3 side too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But you can make a case for all of them, really.
Yeah, the 4 just seems like a tough bet here.
Yeah, I agree, especially the way the track's playing. So now we've gone 2 for 2 closers, right? And it's kind of hard to take a speed horse at a short price here. 6 to 5. Yeah.
The 5 seems like the horse that can clunk along under if they do go fast. What's the price? Nothing great.
Yeah, or even what about the 1?
The 1's the horse. I think I'm just going to bet the 1 in this race. But
Oh, really? Just bet him to win?
I'm going to bet him to win and then play him underneath a couple of the non-4 horses, maybe. I just like the races he's coming out of and the inside draw. And
yeah,
it's interesting. This trainer that only has 29 starters at Turfway, 361 ROI. Maybe he sets his horses up like he's doing. I mean, I'm just
right.
He's got both the 1 and the 2. I hope he. That's what.
Well, and he's coming. Yeah, seriously, he's moving inside from 2 really awful outside draws.
Yep. Just a really big drop. The only time he's been in for a tag recently, he's won both.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he was 3 to 1, I wouldn't be as excited, obviously.
Right. Let's see. Since I can't just play win, maybe I'll take a 3-1. And
the 6 has I would think the 6 has kind of the upside to move forward or be nowhere, maybe, but that's why he'll finish 3rd.
And why do you say that? Just off
I just don't like his last. I don't like the form that he's in, really.
Yeah.
But I think you're counting on the barn to move him up, maybe.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, maybe they take it back a little bit.
Yeah, his old races would easily win.
Okay.
I just don't know if he's the same horse. Well, I mean, I know he's not. He actually would. I think he won a stake here at one point.
Chisler. Oh, yeah. All right. So he broke his maiden on the synthetic at Woodbine. And last year here, he closed for 4th, closed for 2nd. Then he went to the lead and faded for 4th. And then he kind of ran an even race where I think he was a little over his head. So he's been useful.
Yeah, my bet he won the stake I was talking about at Ellis in 2023. I was thinking.
Oh, okay.
They really dropped him off a cliff last time, huh? 62.5 to 15.
Yeah, that is off a cliff. I'm really just intrigued by the 3. I keep coming back to the 3, so I'm gonna play a 3-1.
It makes a lot of sense to be there.
What's that?
The 3 makes a lot of sense to be there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want something off the pace. I mean, I guess the 5 closed well last time too. So, and you're getting 6 to 1 there. So, yeah, let's see. Can this 1? Yeah, and the 1 could probably hit something. But yeah, so I mean, if the 2, 4, 6 go out, it's going to set up for the 3 and the 5 and the 1. But I guess it never turns out that simple.
No, I mean, I could easily see the 4 just being faster to the front. Doesn't mean he's a good bet, but
yeah.
Yeah, the 5's kind of. I don't really give him much of a win shot. 7-1.
I mean, I think it depends how fast they go, and
yeah, I guess there's no depth course that's proven closer on the surface already. I mean, I would assume the 3 and the 1 cannot close that horse, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. And we haven't talked about the 2 much, but I guess he's got to chase the 4. So that's probably not the best spot to be in.
That's the hope. Plus, he's been at this level for two starts already at this meet. And
Yeah.
just really, and he's taking no money. The other one. I'm hopeful that he gets out. Like, I mean, he breaks well usually. That's the key to the race.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. And then the 7. I mean, I guess he's okay. It's just kind of hard to get excited about him.
With the post and I mean, he hasn't won since.
He's second off a layoff though, and his race in December.
He can hit the board.
His race in December fits with these.
Sure does.
So
he's had a ton of chances at this level. He could hit the board if he wins. I'd be pretty. Although it's Turfway, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he's a great win candidate, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get my list 7-horse super. I'll try to get the 1 and 7 in there, but it's
I just went and put in a 1-7 box for sanity after we were talking about this. Too long a shots on the board, right?
Yeah, I mean they're not terrible, and if they go fast, I mean, just kind of need the 4 not to win. As long as the 4 doesn't win, you can probably get something in the exotics. Nick's got a 4-5 double. Somebody else is on the 4. There's a pass. Taking a chance on the 7 at 10-1. Tim Snell.
Favorite? Oh man, it makes me feel.
What's that?
No, I see that Nick's on the favorite. He's not a big favorite guy. Another double. Tim's 4-9. Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, good luck, everybody, as we send them off here in the 3rd. And there they go.
7 broke great. 2 did not.
Yeah, so 6 is out, and 4 is going to go get him, I guess. Either that or fly right past him. No, it's going to go with him. That's Machado, though, right? We said he's patient.
Rocco, Machado, he kind of has to go now from the inside with him.
Yeah, I don't like that spot for the 4 at all, but
no, I mean, this is exactly what you wanted him to get beaten. Doesn't matter that it's not the 2.
Yeah.
The 1's in another zip code.
So now you got 2 prices out there.
The 4 already, is the 4 backing up already? Is he already done? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he knew what he was doing, but he's donezo.
Oof. Is the 1 going to rival? Probably not.
Yeah, I would like the 3-5.
Just swung 700 wide.
What's that?
The 3's on the far outside there.
Yeah, I mean, I could use a 3-5 here, but I don't think they're going to catch the 6. And we got the 2 in there too.
Who's on the far? Is it the 3 leaning on the?
That's the 5, and then the 3's just spinning wheels.
5. That means
6-5-2.
I didn't see why the 1 just. Did the 2 get 3rd just by not going to the lead?
I think so. Yeah. That was kind of weird.
The 6 just.
He just went to the lead, no challenge, right? 4.
Vandenberg moved them up, to say the least.
Yeah.
This horse is going to be back protected next time, probably. Well, unless he got claimed.
6-5. 2-7-3. So the 1 and the 4 were nowhere.
Yeah, that 4 was just terrible.
Yeah.
Just terrible. He barely finished.
Yeah, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Need the 9 for a good double. Awesome. Good luck with that. Yeah, Speightstown. We were talking about Speightstown as the sire there, the best sire in that race for synthetic, and the pedigree stats. Yeah, so I'll just pull those back up for a second. It definitely can be helpful. Definitely can be helpful. Go back to the admin, and yeah, there's the sire stats for that race where the 6 stood out. I definitely want to use them like where I'm already looking in that direction. This horse was, 1 for 6 over the synthetic, so he's not like synthetic monster, but there just really wasn't that much in this field, so that made sense. And looks like somebody else, Gizmo, got the 6. Very nice. And Dirty Bird got the exacta. Yeah, and then no Lasix. That's interesting. It's hard to say. There could be a lot of different reasons for that. Yeah. I'm gonna look at that board. 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. So I think that's definitely the epitome of not knowing where to go on the board. All right. So yeah, congrats to everybody who had the 6, and yeah, just thought that was interesting the way that kind of sorted out, and did not see the 6 on the lead by himself. But good for Joe Rocco and the connections, sending him out there and taking it to him. Especially with the tracks played tonight. So that was our first pace horse. After looking at closers in the first couple. And yeah, some decent payoffs there. $61 on the 10-cent super.
I was never going to have the 2 for third.
Yeah, no, I know. We were kind of playing that differently. I was playing against the speed, so I was playing against the 6 and the 2 and the 4. Pick 3, $42, nothing too crazy. But now we're getting into some bigger fields, so can open it up a little bit more. Yeah, 9 here, 12 in the 5th. Pull up here.
This race was a challenging. $12. That's not a bad turning horse to have there, beating some of the favorites. Those are the square prices that can.
Not at all.
Difference.
I don't know. Let's see. Looking for.
Track's playing fair, right? I think you might have been talking about that while I was gone, but you got a wire job, a closer, and seems pretty fair.
Yeah. I'm just grabbing, we've got a couple free reports tonight. If anyone wants, we're talking about Sire stats. If anyone wants to grab our Sire moves report for today and for Turfway, that's up for free. And pull it up here a little bit for a second. And have you used the Sire moves report much, Scott?
The Sire moves, I have not. I've been the ratings have been proven to be very valuable. I don't think I've seen this. I'm intrigued.
Okay. So this is some of the different moves, and everything's broken out from sprints to routes. So let's see. So we got the 4th race coming up, and the 9, who said they had the 9 big payoff to the 9. That was Tim Snell's got a $10 double.
Wow.
A big double to the 9. Yes, he needs the 9 for a huge double. This horse is 20-1. He's never been on synthetic. Just not trying to make a big case for him. Just saying, if you do like him, look at the turf stats here. Need a bit of luck. Arrogate, is more of a stamina sire. Turf sprints, his Arrogate's win at 9%. Our impact is -22, which means that that's like even like a chalky 9%, not like a great 9%. And then going to synthetic route, they win at 16%. It's almost double. So you're almost getting, like, if you think about it, twice as many wins as you should, and those are all based on the odds board. And that's what the impact is based on. The 16%, that's just raw. So the Arrogates win 16% synthetic routes, which is a really nice number. So points out positive and negative moves when horses are moving around. Another example in the 5th race, the 3, Street Sense 10-1 horse. Street Sense is 10% in a turf route, 17% in a synthetic route. So, so essentially you're going with Street Sense from an average mediocre turf horse, turf sire, to pretty darn good synthetic route sire at 17%. So I found this really helpful for fading horses, or maybe get that extra excitement and extra push on a horse like that. Like if you already like those 2 horses, I think that's a great addition to how you're looking at it. Or if you're tossing them, maybe you want to give them one more look. I don't think bad horses don't run through the sire stats usually. But it can stop good horses on synthetic. If they don't like it, they don't like it. And so you can kind of see up and down the page. There was that Arrogate's intriguing that he's so successful on synth. I mean, I guess like this is, if you look at the top one in the red, that's actually from the last at Tampa. But the horse was coming off a Brethren on a dirt route wet, whether it's 17%, and then Brethren on a turf route is 5%, kind of horrible. So this -68, that's like the raw win percentage of going from 17% winners to 5%. Like that's
oof.
That's and that's 30-1, so it's not a great example. But you start going up and down the card or all the cards, you'll find examples of horses that are prices that have some positive stats, and then some contenders that have some really negative stats.
One situation where I could see this being very useful is at Gulfstream, where they bounce back and forth.
Yeah,
from the all weather and the turf. Some of that is condition book related and weather related, but they're still doing it, and I could see that being a real edge.
Yeah, here's one in the 8th, the 5 de Oro Road. So both de Oros, they're pretty good synthetic route, 14%. They're really good synthetic sprints, 23%. And that 39 in green, that's the impact. And so what that's saying is, they're winning 40% more than they should. So they should be winning about 15, 16% in a synthetic sprint, and they're jumping up, surprising the better, surprising the connections, winning more than they should. And again, I haven't looked at that race, so I'm not saying that you need to bet that horse, but if it's another reason to like them, and it's probably something that people aren't looking at. And the other thing is, when you split it out like this, you could see really big differences between sprints and routes. And I think that's logical, to most of us, because you see, some sires are good at turf sprints, but not turf routes. So when I see these stats about like this sire's good turf, like to me, that's useless. I want to know if he's good at a turf route or a turf sprint, or both.
That makes sense. I mean, turf sprints to me much less. I mean, that's important, but turf route pedigree much more important to me.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the race, and
for sure.
This will help show, what they were doing last time. Wow, look at this last in Turfway 10, the 5. Okay, he's one of the chalks, but Iqbal, 29% in synthetic sprints. That's pretty crazy. Actually, we're cut off with our heads there, but I just put the link at the bottom, and so you can grab that for free and check it out.
Looks like the green, the bright green is 50% or higher, kind of.
Yeah,
and then the dark red is 50%.
We had some fun with the color coding. All right, so let's talk about the 4th. You were saying this was some opportunity, perhaps.
Maybe. I mean, they're betting 2 horses pretty exclusively. One I anticipated, and one is not going to be near. No, the 2 is going to end up being the 3rd choice based on the pick 3s. But the 8th, I guess, the first horse that, this is a horse. I remember Pletcher having this horse in Kentucky and taking a lot of money for a while. I mean, this horse is 0 for 10.
Yeah.
Dropping last time for the first time, but that was a sprint. And this horse was on the inside and kind of it was a weird trip. Didn't really do much running. I lean towards trying to beat this horse. But then you got to look around and wonder who's capable.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to need the 9, right, to go after him. I mean, the 9 showed a decent amount of speed in its first couple starts. So if it can bring that kind of speed.
Off the bench. Yeah, off the bench too. So maybe a little extra.
Well, they're stretching out. Let's see. So he's stretching out. They're both stretching out. Man, this 8 showed a ton of speed on the turf, huh? At Indiana.
Yep.
Flying that day.
This is just a tough horse. 2 to 1. Going to end up being the significant favorite, regardless of what the board says, at least based on the pick 3s. Vanished. But it just feels like they're just reaching for anything, dropping, stretching out, turf, systemic, like she's going to win eventually. But is it the kind of horse that you want to bet on? Look at all the money she's burnt. Like, I know they're against protected maidens, but she's been a figure horse every start of her career. Yeah.
I mean, wow. Yeah, they're just dropping. All right. Well, where else? Where else can we look?
I thought that the 4 was a little interesting. I don't like that the horse has no speed, but she has been a little closer of late. But the one thing I noticed that this guy, Jesus Escovel's barn, is last 5 starters have hit the board. And I think I'm counting again on needing the race to have some pace in it if I'm trying to beat the 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of goes with the turf. I mean, this is a tough one to get excited. What's the odds on the 4 right now?
6.
Did you see anything in here? The 2's getting hammered, but I see my racehorse as one of the owners.
Right.
Part of it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Projector 8 and 9, yeah. Time form has 8 and 9. Dueling. With the 5. The 5, I guess, is a fit. That's not been managed.
Yeah.
That horse is Drury with just 1 work coming into the race, dropping. That's not for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wanting something that can close a little bit. I guess the question is how much pace is there really in here with the 8, 9?
The 2, I mean, Lannery is not Sen, but he's only been she's only sprinted in her career, so inside draw.
Yeah.
She could be up in the mix. Also might not be, but she showed speed last time.
What about the 6? I know that last race looks ugly at a 1.25 miles, but I think it got sent from the outside and obviously did not work out.
Tried the blinkers for the first time and going the longest that she went.
Is that what it was? I'm looking at these PPs and I'm like, why is this horse on the lead on a blazing pace? And okay, yeah, so They stretch out to a mile and a quarter. They put the blinks on as
Now
it
they're
takes the
off.
synthetic, and it works out terribly. So now they're gonna wheel back in distance, take the blinkers off. I mean, basically, so that means whatever that shows for last race, that we shouldn't get that.
Right. I don't love it when these guys start, you feel like they're adding the blinkers because they're running out of answers, and then they take them right back off. But it does make the last race very excusable. And then the price, the races before it aren't non-competitive with the rest of this field, though, other than that race, like numbers wise, and they're all against maidens.
Right.
I mean, special weight maidens.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it just looks to me like a horse that's a plotter, and it takes forever to get into gear on these turf courses. And at Churchill and Keeneland, he's running 7th to 12, right? But not terrible.
90 to 1. Yeah, 90
Those
to
are
1.
Straight maidens, 7th by 5 lengths. He's making a closing move. Maybe he's got to take to the synthetic a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe that's just drawn. That draws too much in a race where there's not a ton of clear pace.
That's the key for this horse. You figure this filly is going to be last, unless maybe she found speed with the blinkers, and now, I mean, you could say that optimistically if you want. Hey, she woke up. She was actually into the race last time. Maybe she'll want to do that without the blinkers this time.
Yeah, but it's a mile and a quarter too, so I don't know that she was flying.
Yeah, she wasn't flying. You're right.
Yeah, it might just be time based a little. I think it was more inappropriate, like just for the distance, right? But maybe if there's no pace in here, this would be a horse to watch for next time. What about the 7?
7, Michelle Level 1 for 27 at Turfway. She's the one that I was talking about before. Her lone winner was that $56 firster. She just doesn't really.
Yeah.
And Gavin Ashton is 2 for the meet, I think. Tough ask for a horse to come from well out of it with those 2 things. But another one added blinkers last time for the first time. And showed more speed than the 2 starts before it. But didn't run better.
So the 8's 9 to 5 in here. Wow.
I don't like that the fastest race of the 7's career was the first race, and then the second fastest needed time off after.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that one. It feels.
Yeah, but this is this is the kind of level. There's gonna be stuff not to like on all of them. Right?
Exactly. Well, for sure. All relative, right?
Yeah, all relative.
I mean, the one could do exactly what she did last time, which is really just run evenly by sitting on the rail and following horses around the track and just getting 3rd or 4th again at a big price.
I like that.
Not the worst reverser.
No. Yarmarie done well, and the post is great, right? I mean, that's
that's the key. That's last time was basically rode the rail throughout, wasn't even on the rail.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a better chance to pick who can finish 3rd or 4th in this race than who's going to win if it's not the 8, and I don't like the 8,
Right. I mean, it's almost like, and I know we had in the comments, back to it here in chat, Tim's trying to get paid here on the 9, and I don't disagree that I think this 9's got some interesting potential or untapped potential, or whatever the right term for it is. I think the big impediment is the 8, right? If the 8 doesn't show up, 9's going to be a great play at 29 to 1. The other alternative is if they both go and the 9 runs an improved race, he could run the 8 into the ground, and
Yeah.
now that just opens the whole race up.
Yeah, that would be excellent for the way I want to bet it, although not for Tim.
Yeah.
I'd rather, the 9 winning would be. I think I'm going to play it that way, not go too crazy. Who are the horse? I mean, the 4 makes sense, but isn't a big price. Is it trying to think who to use in the back? The 1 on the 4, the 1 and the 6.
Yeah, I don't like the 4. Just doesn't finish. The 3 I would use for third. The 5 doesn't finish at all. No, I take it back. Okay, so what about the 5? He closed.
I just don't like the pattern much. He debuts this horse at Belterra on the he usually sends his horses to Belterra as a backup to win. He's 10-1 at Belterra for Drury. He was the man there. Then the next race, it looks like a wash off 5-horse field, loses, just does not. And then the really kicker for me is just a really awkward work pattern. I mean, there's nothing.
No works this year?
Well, one.
Oh, there's a February work. Okay.
One, but after a gap and then a gap.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't, trying to pull a fast one, it just doesn't really feel like Tommy Drury to me. But his face better.
Yeah, he really went out hard and on a hot pace at Churchill in that maiden 50.
Yeah, he did.
You've got Moncada up, and Drury does well at this meet. I don't like him to win, but
he's a fair price for what he offers.
So I guess the 5 is the other potential pace player with the 8 and the 9.
Off the freshening for sure on the drop has been somewhat prominent.
Well, and you get a nice price on the 6, so 136 you've got really nice prices on.
What's the 3? What's your angle on the 3? Just lightly raced, more upside.
Yeah, it's just
shown some ability to finish a little last time.
Yeah, and I think that dropping from a straight maiden, I think that race is probably a little better than it looks.
Yeah.
And he's 20-1. If he was 9-1.
Good. Yeah, decent late pace rating.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at, and basically. And then back to the 2. I guess the 2 is going to show pace too, stretching out.
That's the dream here. If you're trying to get the 1 and the 6 in, the 2, 8, 9, and 5 all being a little aggressive. I think that's maybe wishful thinking. 2 is just such an underlay to me. Although we'll get some float, but
Austin says he thinks the 2 is a horse to beat, but he was 5 deep in the pick 4. Well, I hope one of your others get there. I agree with you. I think he's an underlay.
Hopefully these 2 horses, Sweet Voyage and American Honey, the 2 and 5 show speeds. That would make this very interesting for the horses we're trying to get in there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then you're not excited about the 7?
I could totally see it. I just don't see it that much more than the 1 and the 6. Well, I guess they're not 3 times bigger prices anymore. 7 is completely chilly on the board, huh? 7 to 2 more.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, the problem with this kind of race is if the speed blows up and you take out the 4, 5, 8, 9, there's nothing left.
Right.
Yeah. This is like my gamer race. It's if the bombs all start running 1, 2, 3, and then you don't have it. Well, I'm gonna do that though. What we're talking about, I'm gonna use the 1, 3, 6, and probably 3rd and 4th. The tougher part's gonna be hitting the top of that.
I think maybe can you try to beat the 8 and just use 2 and 4 on top? Hope maybe the 2's live on the drop. I don't love the 2, but I know the upside's there to win this race.
Yeah.
Same is true of the 8, but 9 to 5 is rough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to I'm gonna play the 2 and 4 on top, and the 1 3. Try to get the 1 3 or 6 in the back.
Yeah. Shoot. This is just I mean, I think the 1 could win. I thought the 7 was decent too. I don't know.
No, the 7's not. The 7's dropping and has that running style that if they go fast, she could easily win. It's just the connections have been just poor, and then you're counting on her to a good ride. Really, I mean, you would assume. Although if it falls apart, I guess it can just fall apart. But
yeah, and this is more like I said, it's hard. You don't want to get too chintzy if you're trying to pull, bombs. Although the 1 and 6 are down to 12 to 1, so they're not like crazy bombs. Then I don't know how much it really pays then.
The chat's loving this 9. I wouldn't bet the 9 to show necessarily, even though obviously if it hits, it's going to have a nice price, because not only do I not think betting the show is a great wager, but just in general, this horse probably, based on what we see on paper at least, is either going to, be involved and hang around and, run really well, or it could easily stop and be last-ish.
Yeah, right. All or nothing, right?
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm just not sure where to go here, but I guess I'm just going to stick with that 1 3 6 like we talked about. All right. Well, good luck everybody in the 4th, and good luck on the 9 at the big price. That would be super exciting. Yeah, it just seems like this is an uninspiring bunch, so something could jump up. All right, there goes the 2,
and 9.
8 and 9.
One of the 9s.
Is that the 3?
Yep. Wow, the 8. Oh, they're rolling.
They are flying. 3 9 are flying out there. Whoever was riding the 8 had enough sense to get out of that. Oh, that was Corrales, yeah. All right, let's see what this 9's got, That's a tough start.
Speed, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a tough start to the race, but that's going to set up for all those closers, though.
Oh, well, Silver Cat owns the 2. Good luck.
All right, so the 3's going to come back for more. The 5 on the inside looks like he's got some close. This Chiclet's moving. The 1's moving.
Well, the 1's 8 to 1.
Oh, yeah. Everything changed, right?
Wow, so the 2... Go ahead and win 2. 2 something 1?
Yeah, 2 1. 1's got some run, but so does the 2.
Who's that coming for 3rd? That's a chalk on the outside. I actually need to. Oh,
8. No, 6 is gonna surpass him.
Oh, is that the get up? I have a 2-1-6. Try.
Oh, we got it. I think you got 2-1-6 here. 2-1-6-8-3. Nice, Scott. I couldn't get excited about that 6. I had the rest of it.
You're the one that brought up the 6, so I just.
And you brought up the 1, so
yeah. I mean, the 6 just seemed like he could do exactly what he did. Be no factor. Congrats to the owner. It says the Silver Cat Zen says I own the 2. Congrats.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what was this? 4 to 1 over 8 to 1 over. Oh, we'll take that.
Yeah, very cool. Well, yeah. Plus that 1 dropped a lot. I mean, it was like 12 to 1 with about a minute to go. So you probably get closer to 12 to 1, and you got that flat board on top. So yeah, congrats.
No 8. Yeah, no 8s. No
8's
5.
4th.
Yeah, I just have the try. I didn't play supers.
Yeah, but that's
Because I
going to
thought
be solid.
it was actually the right move in this case. The chalk for Ford, you would think.
Yeah. No, that's going to be solid. I mean, you got, 1, 3, 6 were the 3 longest shots on the board. You got 2 of them in second and third.
Yeah, I almost got stubborn with the 2. Good example. I just didn't want. Almost played the 8 on top instead. That would have been a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, the 8 didn't have it. Yeah, Hiles and Lannery. Like Ed was pointing out the other couple weeks ago, like some of these cards, Lannery, he's like only riding 1 or 2. So
it's interesting. Yeah, he's bounced. He was down in New Orleans last year, maybe 2 of the years in a row. But before that was at Oaklawn. I mean, I think he's probably more doing this to be by a family than really.
Yeah. Well, Nick says your try is going to pay a ton. So I think so. You got it for $10.
20.
Sweet.
I'm going to hurt my own price. I'm just kidding. I got it for $1.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, Nick, speaking to Nick's comment before, 5 look loaded. I would be interesting to see if this horse can actually put back-to-back races together. That's been that's what worries me when these horses are just always on the layoff without a lot of race. Just clearly soundness issues.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. 120 days, 50 days, 90 days. Yeah.
Bad favorites tonight.
Yeah, that was the My Racehorse drifted up to 4-1, so it didn't.
The 8, and then the that 4 the race before.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the 7 just. I mean, they knew 7-2 morning line, 9-1 rate, just never. Even. Yeah, they didn't. I'm kidding, Austin. I only have it for $1. I see it's a 20. I wish. Yeah, that's gonna pick 5 will be okay. You're right.
Yeah.
Beat enough favorites.
I lost the video. All right, I'm bringing it back here. All right, hit that account. What did you jump up there?
We got
160.
Oh yeah, 160.
Yeah,
50.
for 50 cents.
Yeah, see, they got twice for 50. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Nice. We'll take it.
Yeah, that'll work.
See, and I would have been, if I played the horizontals, I would have been knocked out. So another example of the verticals of Turfway.
Yeah, the horizontals are just so tough here, and but that was like a good example too. Like we're trying to fish around because there really wasn't much to work with, but we were kind of making arguments for the 1 and the 6, and then I mean I don't think we were starting anywhere near with like they're going to run second, third, and they you see some positives, and you got to throw them in at that price.
No, I played one of them to be 3rd, basically, and luckily didn't leave them out of 2nd. But if one of them wins, if it comes in 1-2-6 or 6-1-2, I don't hit it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Betty and Rancho says thanks for giving me the 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
There you go. Well, the 9 got a thrill for the 9, so that wasn't all for naught. But.
I mean, at least you made the lead. That was probably what you're looking at doing there, right?
Yeah.
The disappointing thing, I don't know if it mattered, but the 8 didn't even break well. Then you had the 2 just faster.
Well, then the 3 went like crazy, right? So it's like, if not that the 9 would have won, but or anything like that. But if that 3 doesn't do that, it's a completely different race.
Exactly.
Because we figured the 9 would go.
166. Why do they show it twice?
Just make sure you don't miss.
I'm not going to comment on it. I think I tried to get that fixed last year.
The graphics package. Just in case there's a dead heat, they're prepared.
That's all right. When you hit it, it's good to see it twice. Yeah.
There you go. The pick 3's there twice too. And the double. They're just double vision right now. All right, so we're coming up on the 5th, and then I just want to remind everybody one more time. There's a free game on Derby Wars where you can qualify for the $250,000 Kentucky Derby betting challenge. And this game's free to enter. There's 142 players in there right now. And there's $270 in prizes, which essentially qualifiers for the next rounds of it. But the end goal being get a $5,000 entry to the $250,000 betting challenge on Twin Spires on Kentucky Derby Day, which is pretty cool.
Starts here all the way through the end, right? To the 10th?
Yeah, so it's here. This is the tournament, race 5 through 10. And there's everybody that's in. What did I say? 137 entries, so we got a lot of players in there now. So get in, it's free, and just got to pick a horse to race, and it's Turfway. Anything can happen, right?
Yeah, this is what these are the kinds of I've always thought Turfway was an underutilized track for tournaments. It's the perfect track, you just it's so easy to find favorites you're against and find 10, 12 to ones that you think have like legitimate shots. That's what makes win place when they show tourneys mythical, the best.
Well, plus if you're having trouble, cashing, which we all can, especially on any track, but especially at Turfway, playing some of these contests, you get a little bit. You get 6 races, 8 races, for one entry fee, so you can, like you said, you're not really dead to the end.
How many spots for that freebie? 2 free spots.
Well, there's $270 in entries, so there's two $80 qualifiers to I think it's the 3rd round where you're 1 in 5 to get a $365 entry for the final, and then there's 5 $22 entries for the first round to get an $80 spot.
Oh, cool. Okay, so if you finish,
so you got to finish in the top 7, so not too bad. All right, so this is the tough race of the night. I thought full field and a lot of different directions to go in here.
Yeah, I think the first thing, like a lot of races you want to do, is just try with these bigger fields, especially at 2 turns, is kind of figure out the pace. And the question is kind of, well, Liar's Poker, these horses are all coming out of that race that you spoke of a little bit earlier with Gamer, where you took the tough beat, and it was a bunch of horses across the track, and the speed horses is tired. But Liar's Poker now is off the rail, so maybe not as guaranteed to send. So, you got My Romeo Lima, who was in that race, opted to sit just off, but normally is on the lead. And then number 2, Mercante, who, you would think would be maybe one little bit more aggressive ride from the inside this time. So those 3 are probably the likeliest. I don't know if that leads to a fast pace, but it should be contentious, I think.
Yeah. Mercante was crazy last time. They bet him down to 4 to 5 in an 11-horse field, and like everything sent, and it was toast. I mean, this is sort of. I mean, it's. I don't know. I think it's really up for grabs because it's like with Mercante, do they send, like you said, Liar's Poker? Do they send? And you can't be too gun shy about playing a horse back like that, because Liar's Poker, went I don't want to say scorching pace, but they were going pretty fast last time. And yeah, you have to assume if they're going to go not that fast this time. So it's going to bring that horse into play.
I hate to be. I think the 1 is going to end up. This horse is getting hammered. This horse is just going to get a great trip, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. I like the 1 and the 6 and the 3 that scratched, but
yeah, the 6 should be able to finish cutting. Actually, this horse hasn't. I guess the one question is for the 6, been off a while, Walsh capable. I guess that 1.5 mile race was more a stab than his normal. So he's
yeah.
Santorini last year. Santorini, Madison. I know that December 7th race was not very good. That's a while ago. Steady work pattern for the return. Hasn't missed a beat.
Mm-hmm.
The 1 just hot barn ran well over the surface. 5-2 is not very fun though. The outside horses all seem pretty up against it to me, and 3 of from just the post factor. 3 of them are taking money. 3 of the 4.
Yeah, I didn't look at the 13. He just drew in. I have to take a look at him.
Yeah, this horse was supposed to be good, I think, at one point, right? You know, they spent money for him. I guess he didn't get bet like he was good. But they drop him in for 30 off the bench, and the claim gets voided. And he moves him. He's almost telling you that the horse is doing better now or something. Because they void the claim, and he has the license to drop, basically, right? When they void those claims,
right?
He raises him up, and he wins going away, and now he protects him completely.
You're talking about the 13?
Yeah, I mean, I hate the post, but
Lobo, yeah, he's strong in Turfway.
Just feels like the horse might have figured it out.
Oh yeah, no, I like that closing like 100 LP on the Brisk numbers.
Yeah, look at how he finishes on this 3 2-turn races here of late.
Yeah, I'm all in.
95.
I'm all in on the 13. Oh, he's 5-1. All right, you were getting me really excited there for a minute. But yeah, that looks solid.
I mean, probably last, right? So you would just want to angle over anyway, so the post shouldn't matter.
Yeah. And I mean, I hate to say it for these speed horses, but like the new shooters in here are pace horses. You know, so you have the 2 and the 7 that went to the lead last time, but the 9 should show speed.
Yep.
The 8's
got some zip.
It's got some, and the 12's got speed, and he's stretching out, so there could be a lot of speed. And the 11's got speed. Didn't really show much in the slop.
This horse, I remember record time. I mean, I thought he was going to be in the in that like the Ruby or something after those.
Oh, really?
Races, and he didn't come back. I mean, this horse looked shot to me, but
yeah. I mean, I guess he could hit the board, but
yeah, for sure. Man, if there's speed at all, it could just be 113, 13-1. I mean, it's not that fun, but
I still like the 5 and 6, so I guess that would be one. I'm more like 1, 6, 13, and also maybe the 5. But the 13's closing ability is tops by far in here. Yeah. What do they bet? Yeah, the 2 is chilly. I mean, more than double is morning line of 4-1.
He's tough to like just because it doesn't look like he's going to have it any easier this time.
Yeah.
But maybe makes the lead instead of chases is the one that he was just easily like he's the first one to give way last time at 4 to 5. It was just gun runner. I mean, that 12 horse was in the Pat Day Mile 3 starts ago.
Wow.
The last start didn't go too well.
Yeah. But yeah, that 13 at a huge closing number.
Has Roman been okay here? I mean, 5 is a lot to ask. I mean, I remember when he was a bug boy in California when I lived there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow.
It looks like 5%. Is that this year? 5%.
He's 13% on routes total, though. I noticed that. That's a tough post. Gonna have to angle over.
So, all right, I got one bomb for you.
Who you got?
For this is definitely for 4th. Would be the 4 Anchorman.
Okay.
And well, here you go. This is perfect. I mean, it's a stretch because he's 1,000,000 to 1, but 2 starts in synthetic at Turfway here in routes, finished 3rd and 4th. So what better, you know, I love that to play a horse like that to run 3rd or 4th when that's what it's done over this track. Now, I don't really love the layoff, but
she's got very limited stats and all this stuff. I don't want to worry about that. I mean, should be kind of one positive for this horse should be kind of race shape independent because it's kind of a mid pack type.
Yeah.
So like if they go fast, won't be fast enough to keep up. If they go slow, will be fast enough to keep up, and will probably be like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, that's what to me it seems like this horse could be about the 5th best closer in the race. You know, so he heats up, moves inside to post 3, gets a reasonable trip. You know, probably run 5th on me, but maybe I'll run 4th.
Longest on the board? Oh yeah.
No, the 9.
Who's the 9? Oh, I guess everybody's looking at the fact there's a lot of speed.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. We got a few more players in the contest. 146 entries right now. Still have time about.
Gotta jump in, right? No brainer.
Yeah. No brainer. Well, how do you play it then? Are you're more 113? I think I'm still going to go 1-6-13.
I think I'm going to try to hit the super with the 1 and 13 on top. This is a non-reverser strategy. I think I'm just going to play 1 and 13. Now I got to figure out my other horses. Just kind of, do I want to just play, maybe just try to hit? I don't love any. I could see why you'd like the 5, 6, 5 and 6 is like the next.
I mean, the 5 is like just a hair below the 1 and 13 and 6, but you're getting a price. Although the one thing I will say though is the 5, that was the setup last time.
Yeah, it feels like last time was the time, but that doesn't mean he can't run 3rd today, you know?
Right.
But
he's only 12. He's not
6 is getting bad, like he's live, or is it a bad morning line? Probably a bad morning line.
A little both, I think.
That's a tough job. Mike does a pretty good job there.
Yeah, it's a tough track to do a line for. Our AI line for HRN, we've got the 6 at 4 to 1.
Yeah, so he probably just missed on that one off the break.
Yeah. So it's probably pretty close. Yeah. I mean, problem is the 1 and 13 are kind of low to do a whole lot with.
No, I know. That's why I think it's just What's the exacta paying? I mean, instead of trying to get cute, I mean, it's not really the way I like a tactic Turfway, but
Yeah.
I think
$113.22 for $1, 13,128. So, but you're gonna have to work out a trip from the outside.
feels to me like if I'm hoping for that, I want a fast pace. I want the 13 to just angle over, and then like the one to get the best trip, and then maybe the 13 can run them down from last.
Yeah,
that's kind of what you're hoping for. That seems a little thin, but it's not paying bad.
Yeah.
I just don't like these horses like Record Time just aren't for me. Like good at 2 and off for a while. They tried to run on the turf. Like they still ran on the slop anyway. I don't know. Maybe he needed the race. 6.
I mean, to me though, the 11's going to get in trouble with the pace. I mean,
yeah, tough post. Given that,
so he's going to have to come back ready and come out of that post and get a trip and not get caught in the pace and hold off the 1 and 13. It's like that's just a lot to ask.
I'm just gonna cut the wagers back, hit by a half, and just play the 13 to be first or second.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad way to
just hope, because I mean, if he gets a trip, he probably is. If not, he probably isn't even anywhere.
Yeah, I like that. What's the 13.6 exact is $39. I could see that.
13,156 with 156.
Yeah. The 13.5 is $42. If you don't like the 5 as much, you just cover that for $1 or $2. Yeah, I'm gonna do that and do some exactas and not try to get over my skis. I mean, I'm gonna do a small super, but I definitely want to have it if the 13 wins, right? It's
right.
I don't see anything other than the 156 running second if the 13.
Yeah, that's kind of, if you see it like that, that's kind of what makes it a little easier to attack.
Yeah,
because you can eliminate a lot of horses.
You know, you start getting the third. I think the 2 and the 11, maybe they take off the pace or something. Maybe they get involved there, but.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep 13 with 156 for, and then I got a bunch of, most of them for fourth.
I mean, yeah.
If I was playing the contest, I probably would use. I think I try to use the 13. I know it's not a good price, but although I don't know, I didn't look at the back races. That would kind of have to play into it with a 6-horse race, 6 horses to, only 6 races. I'm sorry, so you got to kind of think your strategy through a little bit. But
strategy.
Yeah, I just feel like everybody's going to try to use a price here.
Right.
7-2. Now we're getting.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with 7-2 if yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I think a 7, and you're way more, you've played in the round way more than me, but it feels like if it's a 7-2 that a lot of people are going to use, it's probably not a great play. But if it's a race where everybody's using prices, and then it can be, getting a logical horse that is hardly used.
Right.
Seems like it could be advantageous.
Yeah, I mean.
And then when a 25-1 wins, you're done, and you're like, why'd I do that?
Yeah, exactly. Does this one really need to be 5-2 here?
Nah, I was looking at it more. I think the trip's good. He ran well, but it might be a little excessive. Like you're kind of betting him at his at expecting it.
Right.
He needs the perfect trip. You're betting him at.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play my super to the 4 because Anchorman's a great name too. I'm gonna go 1, 5, 6, 13 in first, second, third, and then in third I'm gonna add the 2, 10, 11. That is a $6 bet. That's super cheap. Let's see here.
I'll bet you the pick 5 to the 13 is paying way more than it should.
Oh yeah, that's where. Yeah, I mean,
You get the value of these horses. Yeah,
you know, especially you get an AE horse drawing in
not
8-1.
1100. This horse is just stone live. It seems to me.
Yep. Oh, I mean, he fits. There's a big pace, big closer. Get some more money in the ADW. Get some win money. All right, what do we got? They're getting close to the gate.
Nick going with the post hype 2, 4 to 5 last time. You get 9 to 1 this time. I get it.
Yeah.
I get that angle. My only concern is, well, he did win a race over the surface. I shouldn't say that. I think he might have got bet off his mott races, but not the case. All right, let's close it out strong.
All right, let's do it. Well, good luck, everybody, in the 5th. This should be a fun one. All kinds of prices in here, and good luck if you're in the contest. We've got it's like 148 in there now. Yeah, it looks a little foggy there, huh?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, gee, there was some races last year. I remember when they tried running, you couldn't see anything. It was crazy.
Yeah. The dog's gonna want me to go outside. I'm gonna go outside and be like, "What? Can't see."
It snowed here, yes, and then it's already melting.
So you're East Coast now?
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes from 20 miles from Philadelphia.
All right. Did you have the Eagles?
I did. I had a couple futures on the Eagles. But
Great.
Yeah, big Eagles country. This is where I grew up, basically. So
very cool. Yeah, I'm sure everybody's still on cloud 9 after that win.
Yeah, I think the parade's on Friday. So
okay.
There'll be a lot of that'll be the big celebration. I went to the Phillies one way back when they won it, but that'll be it. Let's see. Roman doing exactly what I didn't want him to. He's gonna get over.
Oh yeah, he's
good job.
Over.
Yeah.
There's the 2
caught up in a duel. I did not see that.
No. Wow.
These horses from the rail just go so often. I always
yeah. I guess they just feel that pressure, and the horse. Maybe the horse takes off. I mean, look at the 7. He's trying to keep up from 3rd.
Yeah, they're moving.
Yeah, this is where the 2's in a tough spot.
This is exactly the trip we had last time.
So this is where I was saying is now if you're playing the trifecta and the 1 doesn't, if you're really counting on the 1 to be there, man, this is a tough.
It's not what you want. You think he's probably either going to be that good and winning, or do you know, like, yeah, this is bad.
So your 13 can win, and it's like, but now you're going to need another option.
Well, that's why I'm glad I did what I did, even though it might not work.
Yeah,
I did not needing the 1 to be there as well.
47 and change. I mean, these 2 are still going. They're nice horses, but you have to think something's coming.
Wow, I hope.
Yeah, wow, and 2's going.
Why some of these horses are. Is that the 13 all the way coming down the middle?
That's Gamer.
Wow, the 2.
6.
13's down the middle, right? Or here comes the 13.
Oh yeah, look at that. He's just.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Wow. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
We got a few people on the 2. Nick's on the 2 at 9 to 1. Very nice
job.
Wow, they just flew, and then
who got 3rd? That 13 loves this course. He just.
Yeah. Well, he was up about 8 lengths after the
Yeah,
wire.
he just didn't fall apart enough for him, I guess. Is that the one hold third, or is it 10 up the rail? 10, yeah.
213.
213, 10-1.
Okay. And then the 5 hung on for 5th on the outside. Yeah, so they just didn't close enough.
Those late pace ratings, I can't say enough how those are some strong things. I mean,
yeah,
that's a strong barometer.
Yeah, really surprised though he couldn't get there. Wow, and that's a decent exact.
It didn't fall apart, you know. The one hung 4th, just missed 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that 10 was in 3rd.
I used to like that 10. I thought he was going to be real good. Been a while since he won.
So jump over to the contest for a second, and there we can see the pick. So 148. Spread out there. And there's 19 people on the 2.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's a great way to start. Pretty even distribution there, right? Like 21 people on the 1, 19 on the 2, 21 on the 10.
That's why it's such a great track for it. Just right
18
there.
On, yeah, 18 on the 13. So let's see who had it there. Oh, yeah, too many to read. But
well done.
Yeah. Well, that should be good. Make it a great start to the contest with a few more to go. Wow. So what did we get on the pick 5 there then?
Pick 5 was 1948 for $1. I mean, for 50. For 50, sorry.
Yeah, so the 2 was bet pretty good in pick 5. 1940. So he was second choice behind the 1. That's crazy that the 1 went out there like that. And I mean, I guess they were both fine because the other speed horses just were nowhere fast enough.
Yeah, they said the second quarter wasn't fast enough for the 13, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, the 13 was flying. There we go. The Betty and Ron show.
Yeah,
Gonna have PPs for tonight. Thanks for the talking about the 13. Yeah, that was a heck of a late run.
Late pace ratings.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, cool, Scott. This has been awesome. Glad we could do this and you could join us. We'll have to do it again.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. Good to be back at it, talking live racing as it's going on, watching the board, and especially with you.
Yeah,
especially with you.
Congrats on the try, and was that the 4th? That was really nice. So yeah, I should have mentioned before, but don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're seeing this on YouTube and you're getting alerts whenever we're doing anything, whenever we're going live. Pretty good payoff there, $190 on the try for 50 cents. 30 on $1 exacta, 29 and change. And yeah, pick 4, 788. Not bad.
Big race for Briz. You get the 1 on prime power, and then you get the 13 with the late pace ratings. The 2 best two favorite numbers.
Yeah. There you go. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining us, and good luck the rest of the way with Turfway or any of the contests. And hopefully we'll be doing this pretty much every Wednesday night through Turfway most of the time. So good luck. Pick some winners and keep it going. And we'll see you, Scott.
See you guys.